Let's answer the question as to whether this power hammer that I have now restored twice is running as good as it was when it was new in 1915. Well, I got a message the other day from John, who runs the present-day Massey forging, with this page from a 1910 Massey catalogue. This page outlines the forging capabilities of the different weights of Massey hammers. And in it, it states that the same weight of hammer, a 200 weight, should be able to do the following. Take a 4-inch cube of mild steel and in a time of 8 minutes, forge it into 5 foot 3 inches of 1-inch square bar. That, to me, is outrageous. This is what a 4-inch square bar looks like. And we're gonna find out if it's possible. First thing that I need to do in order to forge that is make some super industrial beefy tongs. This is just gonna be a fabulous day in the workshop. Some industrial forging. Just what I'm always dreaming of doing. Here's what I've done. I've isolated what will be the jaw, and this right there is where the hole will eventually go. Just need to make it match with the other one. The other one's not quite there. It needs a little bit of refinement. You know, I was fiddling away there under the power hammer working on this, trying to like refine stuff, and then it suddenly occurred to me, wait a second, I've got a hand hammer. I can hit it with a hand hammer to refine stuff. There we go. Apparently I forget. Swinging a hand hammer is an option. Right, there we go, it's pretty close. Whoa, that's one hit more than I wanted to do. Kinda close. This one's a bit wider. Gosh, I'm out of practice. That's the next shoulder to make. Always a game of when to do what with forging. Do this now or do that later. It's hard to always know what the right choice is. Don't have enough tongs here. Thank goodness we're at least solving some of the problem of how few tongs I have. Oh my goodness! Positively drenched! Now I need to make another little set down and draw this area out. All right, did I get my lengths right? Oh, pretty close. I can draw that down a little bit more. This is fun! Come on! Look at that! That is pretty close. I always seem to pick my forging projects in a heat wave. 37 Celsius. I just ran an angle grinder disc in here to make these cuts for our jaw. Seemed like I was maybe going to be more likely to get them central. However, they're not very central. Maybe I should have forged it in. Anyway, what I'm now going to do is try and forge these out this way. So making sure I don't get them so hot that they forge weld together. I'm going to heat it up and then like come in like this. Bum, 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 bum. Stretch those, I mean, what are they? I mean, if this is a tong jaw, cheeks, but like, no. Lips. Lips. Oh, tong lips. There we go. We're gonna stretch them tong lips out. Next one. That's how it looks. Try and split it open. This is not technically a tool for the power hammer. This is a very finely built top hot cut. So I'm trying to be very gentle here. Okay, So before I started doing this stuff, guys, we had been doing heavy forging earlier. Before these two heats, I loosened this lock screw and then adjusted our piston valve so that the neutral position of our ram is just that little bit lower. This is part of the great stuff that I'm learning about this hammer. If I want to get the best out of it, I need to change these settings depending on whether I'm doing big work or small work. So now that I set this neutral position lower, it reciprocates at a slightly lower point in the stroke than when it's set higher for the bigger material and the bigger blows. See, that's bad. Look how off-center that split was. That is gonna be the beginning of a crack. That is poor craftsmanship, Steele. Amateur hour. I've just been chiseling these lips a little bit deeper. I didn't like how wide they were. I didn't think it'd be a secure enough grip on that 4-inch square. So they're now much deeper. It's gonna be a much better grip. Okay. Yep. Super. Thank you, my dear. All right, guys, it's starting to look like a pair of tongs. Now, depending on where we put the hole, we'll get a different sized tong. A really, really massive tong, or maybe the tong that we want. But in order to size it right and be doubly, quadruply sure, though I know I need 140 millimeters between the V's, I think I might as well get an actual bit of steel to size it with. We're gonna cut off our first chunk of this bad boy. I think this is so heavy that instead of bringing it to the saw, I'm gonna bring the saw to it. God, I think I just gave myself a third hernia. Start your engines! Woohoo! There we go.
Damn, that's big.
Somehow that looks wider than I thought it would need to be. Good to know. Easier to make it smaller than bigger, that's for sure. In the fire for punching. Look what I made while the camera was off. It's a power hammer punch. A little bit of 8mm round bar. Then I ground a point over there. I also made this little guy for poking the drift through. All right, let's have a little look-see, shall we? Line you up. There's the plug. Put that back in the fire and drift it. Meanwhile, we can punch this. Nice job, Alec. Well, I ruined my drift. I must have caught it on the inside of this hole as I drove it in. Riveting time. Off to a great start, boys. I've got sweat in my eye and I can't see anything. Or I'm just hiding from the disaster that heat was.
It's already 35 degrees and it's only like 10:30 in the morning.
It's gonna be a warm one. It was 40 Celsius at the beginning of this video. Guess what happens when you rivet a set of tongs, put the pin in? Yeah, you can't open the tongs again. So you gotta go back in the fire so we can loosen them up. Yeah! That is a beautiful sight. Oh, there we go. Now it moves nice and free. Square up the ends a little bit. Oh, baby! God, it's like it's made for it. But not quite. Gripping it a bit funky back here. See how it's not gripping it in line with the jaw? Got to fix that. Still got a little bit of something weird happening. Oh, it's heavy! Now I'm gonna give the reins a bit of a tweak because they're a bit too closed. So hold that there. Bend you open, bend you open. That's looking pretty good. Beautiful. See that the reins don't sit on top of each other. They're off to one side. So we need to put a little dog leg in them, kind of like this here, so they hopefully line up nicer. Very nice. Woo! That's the biggest set of tongs that I have ever made by a long shot. Wow, what fun! I even like to hope that a 1910 blacksmith would be happy with these. There's a tong clip from some square tube, and the tongs are done. I'm here from the future. It's even hotter, and I'm even sweatier. And from the future, I come to you with some very important information. Despite the tremendous amount of sweat that I am currently producing, the insane heat because of the fabulous underwear that I'm currently wearing, my middle region is the most comfortable part of my entire body. And that's because my middle region is adorned in only the finest MeUndies underwear. Today's sponsor, the fabulous soft, stretchy, and breathable micromodal fabric, is wicking that sweat away and leaving me ever so comfortable. They come in a tremendous range of designs and styles, whether you like them long. Do I undress today, Jamie? Is that weird? Today I'm running a slightly shorter pair. And what I particularly love is no matter how wild the design, the waistband always stays neat, professional, and simple. As I said before, it is to underwear what a mullet is to hairstyles. Party down below, business up top. They've got a tremendous range, not only for the chaps, but also the chipettes, as well as a great range of loungewear. And right now, you can get up to 50% off their subscribe and save deal. And if you don't love it, you get your money back. Go to meundies.com/forge and use code FORGE at checkout. And speaking of Forge, let's get back to it. We are prepared to demonstrate these tests to customers with such hammers as we have working in our smithy. But we do not undertake responsibility for tests carried out in customers' own works, as the skill and even endurance of the workmen and also the arrangements for driving, heating, and handling are important factors in the case. Now, the best part is this. The cube should be at a bright red heat, and in the hands of a good smith, the bar, when finished, may still be a good red. They are claiming that they can do this test with a bright red. Let me tell you what, guys. There is not a chance in hell I'm gonna start this test unless that steel looks like it's positively dripping. Let's see if I and my hammer can forge as well as a 1910 brand new one and the blacksmith at the Massey Works in Manchester. That is screaming hot. On with the tongue clip. Here we go, boys and girls. Making good progress. Okay, we've now got to flip it around. Oh, shoot. That's convenient. Change tongs. We've got to see if we can get it hotter with forging, because it's cooling down. Yeah! This hammer is a beast. Coming loose. No! 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 Oh, that spoils it, doesn't it? That's losing a lot of heat now. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it now. Where's my sledge? No! That's too cold to keep going. That is so upsetting. What's the time?
Just over 3 minutes.
We moved a lot of material in 3 minutes. Now I've got a leaking noise, and I don't know where from. Oh, God. I think we burned a hole in our pipe. Oh, that's good in the heat. That was educational. I think there was a chance if we'd kept forging that we might have made that work. Once I flipped it around to the other side, it was a little bit too cold. I think the tactical mistake I made was trying to forge too much of this down. I think I should have left just only about 4 inches of it drawn down, and then that big lump on the other side would have been much hotter, and I would have been starting with a lot more heat to then move the rest. Doing this much forging, it's very much making decisions. When will I hit where? Where am I going to make the most of my heat? And I think I wasted the hottest temperatures doing some of the easiest work. Smushing it to its final dimension we can do when it's colder. But taking that 4-inch block and breaking that down, that needs all the heat I can get. So, what else have we learned? We have learned that it's quite likely that off the factory line in 1915 when this hammer was built, they probably did a better job of fitting their keys to the dovetails, because that die coming loose is a sign of me not doing that job perfectly. And this heavy work is definitely teaching us something. Apart from that, the power of the hammer was fantastic. I think there was every bit enough power to make that work if it wasn't for the die key coming loose, and especially if I can get my technique right for when to break down which bit of bar. I think it can do it. The question is, can I? Let's get the key out so that we can fit it a bit better. Using some of Stuart's blue, that we can see where it's contacting, and then I can file down the high spots. Where it rubs away the blue, we know that it's contacting. Ideally, everything would be rubbed away evenly. It's still not ideal, but we are improving.
Gonna have to call a bloody locksmith in a minute.
Why is that?
Well, you clearly don't know what you're doing with this key.
Hey, very good! Whoa! Sorry, mate. I didn't feel it going. Not too close. Come on now. A little bit wide. A little bit wider. A little bit wide. No, a little bit wider. As we can see, it's still contacting on the front third, so after all my efforts, I've currently achieved nothing.
Looks pretty good from here, man. Just slap it in there.
That is much better. We got contact in a lot more places. Lubricator came loose. Everything's shaking itself loose here. Second attempt. I'm gonna forge down just one little nubbin into 1-inch square, flip it around, forge the rest. Oh yeah. Let's go! Flip you around. Let's go. And let's heat it back up. I think the key has come loose. The die has come loose again. Come on. God, when it gets cold, it bites you. Ah, my trouser leg is on fire. Oh, it's so hot, the radiant heat. Oh. That was hard. That was not good enough. Golly. Still, that was better than our first attempt. We've definitely made some improvements, but I'm still not there. I definitely know my technique's not right. You know, to move this amount of metal, really, I should be doing nothing other than being full power on the treadle, but I'm not. Sometimes I'm taking too small a bite, it's then moving too much, and then I have to go easy on the treadle to then have some time to slow the ram down, move my workpiece in, to then be able to take the next bite, which is making me be less efficient. What I need to do is I need to take just the right size bite that I can always move it if I need to in between the full power blows. The thing is with this hammer, full power means faster speed. faster speed, you've got to have a lot quicker reaction time to make things happen and move the metal where you want. Fortunately, that die did move as well. Not as catastrophically. We still need to do some more work to that key while the third piece heats up. Oh, this is quite a rush and quite a forearm pump too, holding onto that material. When it gets cold, and if you don't have it flat, pow! Those tongs, they fight you. They tell you you're in the wrong spot. Oh, I like butter. Oh, this is good, Jamie. I've started actually dripping with sweat. It's been hot the last few days, but not hot enough so far that I've been literally dripping. Now that I'm soaked, I'm feeling a lot better. Okay, take 3. I've got a second shim in there. Feeling good. I think we might have it. Come on, baby! Almost, this is way too cold to be forging, but it's doing it. It's bloody doing it. Come on now. Come on. Oh. Let's have a look at that. There's the steel compared to me. It goes up to the height of my neck. What do we have? That is 2 inches less than 5 feet. 146 centimeters. Just gonna straighten it, bugging me. 4.5 minutes. That was intense.
How could it possibly even be 8 minutes? How can you get an 8-minute long heat without losing the heat?
I've got no idea how you can keep that hot for 8 minutes. You've got to be a good blacksmith to keep it hot for 8 minutes, but I will say this. We have basically a 1-inch bar that is almost 5 feet long in one heat in 4 minutes under that hammer. The leaflet suggests we should have been 5 inches longer, but we did it in half the time. The leaflet says 8 minutes. I will say this, as the skill and even endurance of the workman are important for factors in this case. That takes a physical toll on you. Only 4 minutes, but by goodness, my heart was racing the whole way through that heat. That was some serious cardio. I cannot believe that I can make just under 5 feet of inch square in a heat with that hammer from 4 inches square stock. That absolutely boggles the mind. If I didn't have already enough respect for the blacksmiths that came before us, who at will could do this demonstration, who could make tongs up even more beautiful than this in 1/3 of the time. And if I didn't already love this hammer enough, the fact that we're that close to completing the test 111 years after it was built, oh, it makes me love the hammer even more. Jamie, I think we've got to see if we can win back those 5 inches and at last properly complete this test. at the end, that's some colder forging than I usually would like to do under the hammer. That's hard on the hammer, but have a look at this. That! Boys and girls, that's a big bit of steel. We need 63 inches to pass this test, and we've got 64 3/4. The hammer has done it! This hammer, this beautiful hammer, 111 years after it came off the production line, can still pass this monumental forging test. What a delight, and what a testament to the incredible engineering that the builders of this pulled off. I'm so happy. Let's compare the lengths. First, second, third, fourth attempt. Look at that improvement. I think it's clear that it was definitely not hyperbolic advertising when Massey said what this could do. Because with a smith that was even more experienced than I, this would be a walk in the park. I'm so happy with the tongs that I made. I'm just itching to make more. For the big hammers, 6 inch, 7 inch, all the way down to 2 inches. These tongs performed fabulously. They gripped the daylights out of that material, and they were a treat to work with. There's plenty more testing coming up soon, because of course we've got to test the new steel alloy that we made at WMG. And by goodness, does that just get me even more excited for these hammers, because if my hammer can forge 4-inch square, wait till you see what the 700 weight Pilkington can do, and wait till you see what the can do. Even on a hot day like this, my underwear hasn't failed me, so go get a great pair at today's sponsor, meundies.com/forge. And be sure to check out our new t-shirt designs. This is the Damascus pattern from the Damascus barrel tubes. Appreciate your support. See you on the next one. Bye. Has something changed in the workshop, Jamie? Oh no! My hydraulic press has just grown legs, and it has decided to twist itself 45 degrees. Perhaps I need to bolt the press down.